Hi everybody, today's video on a stifling hot day is just a roller video. Probably best if you do have a roller. If you want to try and modify, then please do, with the rolled up towels that we discussed much earlier in the term. And we're just going to try and make it fairly brief, that in that way it might be a little bit more doable for you. I'm going to come straight down onto the roller. So come down, sit at the very, very end, place your feet a little further away so that you're comfortable, and draw your hip bones lightly backwards, bringing yourself all the way down onto the roller. Bring your feet a little closer, and feel both big toes, the soles of both feet, the center of your skull, the center of your shoulder blades, the center of your sacrum. Just make sure that you feel absolutely symmetrical. And then just breathe. Breathe into the back and the base of the lungs. And I want you just to allow your arms to come up. They float as a pair. Palms face each other. Now allow them to come out to the side and just hold in that T position. Imagine you're almost being stretched. Both sides of your breastbone being drawn towards opposite sides of the room. And allow your fingertips to come down towards the floor. Imagine you're Spider-Man pushing webs out from your wrists. And then back to level, make two fists. And draw those fists up towards the ceiling. Still in your T position. And then unravel your fists and just a couple of little flamenco wrists. One way and the other way. Keep breathing. Keep that neutral spine. Pause. And now allow your arms to come all the way up overhead. Perhaps a little bend into the elbows to get a greater stretch through the armpit. And then bring them all the way back down by our sides. All the way back up and overhead again. Check that nothing is changing left to right on both sides of the body. One more, taking it all the way up and over. And all the way back down. Bring your arms all the way back up again. Palms face away from you. And just allow your shoulder blades to pull away from the spine, and then allow the shoulder blades to draw towards the spine. So it's a protraction and a retraction of your shoulder blades. Protraction up towards the ceiling, retraction. And again. Up and down. Up and down. Just one more. Lift them up. And this time let them gently drop back down. Palms can face, taking arms up overhead and down by your side. Switch. So nice little scissor. Switch. Still keep thinking about the connection that you have with your feet to the mat, up and over. And pause, flip the palms around so they're now facing back towards the back of the room. And switch. And switch. Switch. And switch. So just a couple more of these, really warming up our shoulders. Breathe. And pause. And for the last time, take those arms all the way back behind you, this time making almost like a little capital E position. Trying to get the elbows towards the floor. You don't have to let them touch the floor, just do whatever feels good to you. And then slowly bring the forearm all the way up and over through 180 degrees and push the hands down by your sides. Take a wide full inhale and prepare for a little stability work. We're going to pick one leg up to bend knee. Control as it comes back down again. Picking your other leg up to bend knee. And control as it comes back down. Lift lifting up and lower back down. Try and feel that both hands are the same. If both elbows are off, make the elbows feel the same height from the mat. Make sure there's no tension in your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, your eyeballs. Face is really nice and at ease. Now pause with one leg up to bent knee. Really feel the position of your sacrum. The collarbones are open. The bottom ribs are lightly kissing the roller. And almost imagine that your tail had a little gold thread on it and it lifts your tail 1.5 millimeter to connect the stomach as you bring your other leg up and pause. Now I'm going to imagine about a golf ball's width between my feet, maintaining the angle. Behind my knee, I take one foot towards the floor. And I'm not determining how far the foot goes towards the floor, because everybody's going to be different. Every day will be different when you try this. Maybe you have more strength one day over the other. But the most important thing is that you don't change the angle behind your knee. If you're only going a few centimeters away and back up, that's absolutely fine. You're trying to maintain your spinal position. And then you're going to pause with both legs back to their start position. Remember that gold thread. Glue the big toes, the knees. Make sure the toes are soft. And you're now going to take the legs as a pair, still with that gold thread, lifting your tail 1 millimeter up towards the ceiling. Take those feet towards the floor and back to start position. Towards the floor and back to start position. Towards the floor. I'm still maintaining the angle behind my knees. One more. Keep a hold of those ribs. And back up. Allow your heels to drop down. And quietly take one foot down. Take the other foot down. Position the feet so that again they feel even. Clasp your hands together. Pop them behind your middle skull. Elbows into peripheral vision, a little chest lift. So again, no tension in the face. As we create a little length at the back of the neck and pick your head, your neck, your chest up. And slowly lay the bones back down again. Big inhale. As you exhale, lift head, neck, chest up. And all the way back down again. Big inhale, really feel how soft your shoulder blades are. Soft V down your back. And all the way back down. 2 glasses of water balanced onto both knees. And on this next one, if it feels okay, you're going to lift your head, neck and chest and pause. And again, feel how there's a 0.5 millimeter lift of your tail as you pick one leg up, if you can. And bring it back down. And we pick the other leg up. And bring it back down. Picking the first foot. And back down. And the second. And back down. One more each side. Keep the bottom ribs connected to your roller. Keep breathing wide and full. Back down. Lift ever so slightly more and lay the bones all the way back down. Now from there, just bring your arms back down by your side for a moment. And you're going to move into a little bit of opposition by bringing opposite arm and leg up. Hold. Reach them both away from you and draw them back in at exactly the same time. Maybe your middle finger is the only thing that you're using to balance on your connection side. Are you breathing? Perhaps an inhale as you reach and an exhale to bring it back. Or more, reach and exhale back. Now if you can, you pick your other arm up. You're simply going to hold and control as you bring your foot all the way back down again. Both arms come back down. Slowly from there, we're going to do the other side. Making at the same time the new oppositional arm and leg. So you're going to reach overhead with arm. We've done that with the warm-up, the shoulders. And reaching the leg at the same time. Try to time the two together. So you reach. Relax something. Be it your toes. You still feel that connection of this foot into the floor. Perhaps one side is more challenging than the other. Reach. And back up. And pause. Now if you can, we bring the other arm up. And hold. Hold and breathe. Is that easier or more challenging for the nervous system? Keep breathing. And quietly bring the foot down. And just from there, spin the palms so that they face away from you. And widen those elbows again, bringing it all the way down to the floor with the elbows. Taking the forearm back as far as you can. Reach the arms overhead. Bring them all the way up. Walk your feet a little further away from you. Peel your head, neck and chest up. And to make it slightly easier, we can take the hands down and slowly peel your spine all the way back up and pop off the roller. So slowly from there, we're going to take our roller and we'll do a little bit of bridge work. Draw your hip bones all the way back, just as you did when you were coming onto the roller, and kick the roller towards you. So we're going to use the roller as a little assistant in the bridge. If you'd rather not, just keep your feet on the floor, but if you can, take your feet onto your roller and the arms are down by your side. If you feel it's all tight in the chest, you could always have your palms out to the side like so, or down by your sides. Find a neutral spine, perhaps a little backward, forward, pelvic tilt. Find your midway point. I'm going to draw the hip bones lightly backwards and peel all the way up, pushing those thigh bones forwards of your knees, and really feeling your little seat bone lights flick it to full beam. And then melt the spine back down again. Using the roller gives us that little bit extra height. Again, draw your hip bones lightly backwards, all the way up. Now, if you can, take your arms all the way back behind you and melt the spine sequentially back down. Arms back down. And again, draw your hip bones lightly backwards, come all the way up. Arms come back behind you. Do you feel the same on both feet? Flick those seat bone lights into full beam and melt your spine sequentially all the way back down. This time I'm going to just bring the arms up and leave them directly above my shoulders. No longer are we sequentially picking the spine up. We're simply going to lift straight up. Now make sure that that roller is close enough towards your bottom. A little tiny bit of flexion in your ankles. Squeezing an imaginary ball between both knees. Squeeze now with just your left thigh bone and pick your right leg up. Reach that leg up towards the ceiling. Hold. Flip that seat bone up into full beam. Feel that isometric hold, which means basically your muscles are working, but you're not moving. Back to bent knee. Place the foot down. Flick both seat bones into full beam. Squeeze the imaginary ball between both knees. And then just your left leg floats. Reach that leg up towards the ceiling. Watch that you haven't twisted through your hips. Hold. And lower it back down. Taking your arms out to a T position. Melt your spine all the way back down sequentially. And on this next one, inhale to prepare. From neutral, I'm lifting straight back up again, still squeezing the imaginary ball. Imagine now just pushing the roller a little away from you onto the top of the heel and pulling it back in again. Push it away from you. onto that heel, really working those hamstrings and back in. We'll do 2 more, push away. Keep the height of your pelvis. 1 more, no tension in your feet. Push and back in. Arms can come overhead and just melt your spine. All the way down, down, down. And you can bring one leg in, bring the other leg in, hug your knees. A little circle of the thigh bones one way, circle the other way. Kick that roller into your bottom. It's going under your sacrum now. So the hip bones will lightly draw backwards. Lift the bottom up and place the roller under the sacrum, holding on to both ends. Carefully, we pick up one leg. And without the pelvis altering, the ribs are still nice and soft, the collarbones are open, pick your other leg up. Glue the legs together. Hold and breathe. Now see if you can reach those legs straight up to the ceiling without your pelvis tipping backwards. So if you need to make little adjustments, please do. A little external rotation now of both legs. So I've moved the thigh bones out away from each other, but still the heels are together. And now a little stretch for the inner thighs. So just take the legs out to the side. You can take your hands onto your thighs, a little bend into the knees, and flex both ankles. And just feel that lovely stretch, release. Open the collarbones, nice flat shoulder blades, and push those legs out again. Hands come back down by your sides, or holding the ends of the roller. And bring your legs all the way back. Now keep them in external rotation and lower them a little to about 45 degrees. Flex deeply through your ankles as you come into a frog. And push away. Point, flex. In, push, point, flex. Watch you're not overly gripping with your hands. In, push, point, and flex. Now on this next one, in and hold. Travel your heels along an imaginary line so we come all the way out to that lovely open stretch. Bring it back in, point, flex. Heels, travel those heels along an imaginary horizontal line. Squeeze them back together, point and flex. 1 more. In, travel, 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 keeping the pelvis really stable. All the way back, point and flex. We go the other way. So this time, all the way out, bend at your knees, travel those heels along the imaginary line. I'm still in external rotation. Squeeze out, point, flex. Travel out to the side. Travel the heels along the imaginary horizontal line. Squeeze the inner thighs, the knees, everything together. Point and flex. Last one. Out, bend, travel, 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 travel. Squeeze those inner thighs, point and flex. Back to parallel. Bring them up without flattening your back out. Now we're going to start to circle all the way around and back up. Some lovely mobility for your hips. And I want you to take them as wide as you see fit. In other words, as wide as you can stabilize the rest of the spine. Just 1 more. Circle around and back up and pause. And we're going to do it the other way. So we go down as far as you can manage. Perhaps a little external rotation there. Around and again down. Really focus on the mobility in both of your hips. Around. And last one, reach around and back. Allow yourself just to bend your knees for a moment. Make sure nothing has changed in the position of your sacrum on the roller. Reach just 1 leg up. Draw the other a little towards you. And slowly from there, stretch that leg away from you. So we get a lovely stretch through our hip. Hold and breathe. So really almost pouring the pelvis over the front edge of the roller. Breathe. And then I want you to bring that leg all the way up. You're going to slowly hold around about the calf, reach the other leg away from you, and really draw that leg in towards you, pushing your pelvis over the front edge of the roller. Flex deeply through the top ankles. You should feel a hamstring stretch there as well. And now we can simply bend that leg and hold it and reach out. So we get a lovely hip flexor stretch through the other side. Be careful your ribs aren't splaying here. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. And then slowly from there, let that leg come up. Slide your hands to round about the calf. Reach the other leg away, but push the pelvis over the front edge of the roller. Flex deeply through your ankle. Widen your elbows. Trying to take your pelvis up and over the front edge of the roller. And that lovely hamstring stretch. So that should prepare you, and please only do this if it's something you would ordinarily do in a class. That should prepare you for our rollover. The arms are down by our sides. So we've got nice lengthened hamstrings now as I push my hands away from me and down into the floor to come all the way up and over. Flex deeply through the ankles, push the heels away from you. Really focus on length through the legs as you find that roller. Maybe circle, just as we were doing a moment ago. And remember, it's your tail that lifts. A little gentle pressure into the roller with the arms. Keep the chin away from the chest. Flex deeply through the ankles. Don't hang around too much. All the way around. We want to keep the flow. And again, up to come over. Flex deeply. And for the last time, laying the bones back down. Circle, bring it in. A gentle hug for a moment. And then from there, you've got two little options here. We're going to hold the ends of the roller and just a gentle little draw from side to side. You're looking for the fleshy part of the outside area of your hip, your bottom, sort of top of your bottom. So we're rolling over the sacrum every time, definitely not up into the waistband. But if you would prefer, you can bring yourself into a little piriformis, figure four stretch. Again, trying to push the pelvis over the front edge of your roller. And I'm going to roll away from the direction of my stretch. So I've rolled a little to my right because I'm stretching out the left side. And then we can do exactly the same. You don't have to do these. If you're just enjoying a nice little side to side, then please keep going. Whatever is feel good to you. And again, stretch. So if you're stretching out your right side, a gentle roll to the left sometimes just intensifies that. And all the way back. Allow yourself just to hug in for a moment. Push gently the roller away from you. Lengthen it out. Reach your arms overhead, and we're just going to do one roll up. Make it modified if that's better and more suited to you. Lift your head, neck and chest up. Bring your head, neck and chest all the way up as you reach up. And pulling your seat bones in your mind back. Take a little stretch again, flexing your ankles. You may even bend your knees and push those heels away from you. Slowly restack low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. Bringing it in around now, just leave the roller where it is. And we're going to come down onto our tummies. So if you would rather not use the roller for extension work, then you very definitely don't need to. It's entirely up to you. We're going to begin just with hand over hand, lovely long thigh bones. We're going to bend one leg. Holding, that's at the knee, holding the toes, If you want to stretch your top of the toes a little more, then hold closer to the toes and really feel that top of the foot having a nice stretch. Make sure that the knee is in alignment with your hip socket. As you lengthen that thigh bone away from you, just give it a little lift up. And then very quietly let it come all the way back down again. And we do exactly the same on the other side. A little bend into your knee, holding the foot. I'm going to pull the toes a little towards my bottom, just the toe area, just to give that area a nice stretch. And then whenever I'm ready, thinking about my alignment first of all, that the length comes into that thigh bone, pushing the thigh bone towards the knee, pubic bone is weighted, and then a little lift if that feels good. And slowly let it come all the way down. So from here, I want you just to think about your pubic bones becoming a little heavier and still resting the forehead onto both stacked hands. And I'm going to lengthen one leg away from me. And I'm just going to do a few circles. Lift up and around. Lift up and around. Lift up and around. And we'll go the other way. So just 3, and I want you to really focus when you're doing these on the mobility of your hip, but also the extension of your hip. No bending at your knees. Pause. We do exactly the same on the other side. So lengthen the leg first, and then we circle. 2, 3, very weighted pubic bone, and 3 going the other way. So we have 1. Really think, how high can I get that thigh bone whilst I keep my hip bone on that side down, whilst I breathe and keep a weighted pubic bone, no tension in the upper body, and pause. So that's a really good hip extensor exercise. Now, finding our roller. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to keep the head in alignment with the rest of the spine. So for me, that means I probably need to just lift the head up a little. We can begin with our palms facing each other. And do you remember the exercise that we did on the roller at the beginning, where we lift the shoulder blades and we pull the shoulder blades down? I want you to lift the shoulder blades and just gently draw them down your back. Feel almost a little external rotation of your upper arm bones. Now your pubic bone is weighted, your big toes are weighted, and you're going to slowly let your head, neck and chest lift, your eyes move forwards. Pubic bone remains weighted, draw that roller towards you, find your palms, and really let those ribs follow the eyes by going forwards and lifting up. And then lay the bones back down again. And again, if you want to come a little higher, bring the roller a little higher up your forearm. So pubic bone is weighted, thigh bone's beautifully long and lengthened. Eyes come up. Now the eyes are following a line forwards and up the wall, which takes the rib cage with it. Open those collarbones, a little outward spin of both upper arm bones, and lay the bones back down again. Just a couple more. So whenever you're ready, pubic bone is weighted, the head, neck and chest comes up. You're going to allow those eyes to move forwards. The shoulder blades are softly down your back, your pubic bone is weighted, your thigh bones are lengthened, the ribs are forwards and up. And all the way back down. Just one more. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, think about flow, fluidity, one of our principles. Just let it happen. And allow it to come all the way back down. Slowly from there, hands to armpits, push up. Whatever feels good to you to stretch your back out, that might be curling your tail in opposition, and just finding a little cat stretch. And then maybe pushing very gently to a Blackpool donkey. It might also be taking your hands to one side of the mat, pulling your opposite seat bone up and over opposite heel. Drop that armpit down. And again around. And find the outside edge of that opposite heel. and back up. We may even use our roller to take a little shoulder stretch. So it might be that you want to just do a little cat stretch, Blackpool donkey here, but if you can push your bottom out, start to reach out and push that roller away so it rolls up towards your elbows. And then curl the tail underneath you, coming up to the fingertips. Just one more. Reach the tail away from you and all the way back up. Perfect. So we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So we're going to thread the needle, taking the foot out. Try and line your big toe up with just in front of your knee. I'm going to do a little bit of just a simple thread the needle. So take your roller, place your other hand as though you were doing a little almost box position. Remember when you're positioning your hand, almost pull that forearm up and out of the wrist. The other hand comes onto the roller, palm is up. And we're simply going to find our middle back rotators, nice stability through the low back as we reach away, bring it in, and open, 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 open. And again, push away. We'll do 4 of these. I'm pushing my seat bones towards the back wall, and back up, and open. 2 more. Keep breathing. Reach, perhaps as you exhale. And then maybe inhale, inhale, inhale. And 1 more. Reach out. Really let your eyes move with the movement. And open, open, open. Slowly from there, we do the other side. Reposition your roller. Reposition your foot. And obviously your hand as well. So make almost a box position. Neck is beautifully long, bottom ribs in, stable shoulders, back of the hand comes on, and reach. Feel that lovely rotation. Please remember that rotation comes from your low middle back here, and your middle back, and your upper middle back. It doesn't come from your lumbar spine. So your low back, your lumbar vertebra, they are designed to be stabilizers, not to do all this rotation for you. So really push those seat bones away from you, push the floor away from you. And again, reach it out. And all the way up, and over. Bringing it down, taking your roller just to finish, onto your back. I'm going to have a little massage. So from here, pull behind the middle skull, and you're going to slowly from there bring your elbows much more into your peripheral vision, almost so that they're about cheekbone width apart. I brought the feet a little closer, draw the hip bones back, and pull that roller up towards the nape of the neck. Put it down just as far as feels comfortable to you. Put it up. Keep those elbows close towards each other. Maybe you're going to let your head come up a little. Maybe you're going to keep your head back there. Play about with it, make it your own. Make your feet work as a perfect pair. And then a little tip to one side. Just getting those little facet joints down both sides of the spine. So whatever we do on one side, find center and replicate on the other side. Just watch your neck. Try and keep it out of the equation. And then on this next one, find center. Bring the roller to the base of your shoulder blades, let your bottom come down. We'll just do a little bit of extension to finish. So I want you to find length through the spine. So really long and lengthened spine. And then wrap up and around the edge of your roller. Create a little bit of length at the back of the neck and pick your head, your neck, your chest back up. And again, lengthen first. And really feel your back is allowed to shorten in that middle upper back region. Be careful the elbows don't overly splay out. And all the way back up. We just have one more. So lengthen first. Be very mindful that your low back doesn't do all the shortening. Try and push your bottom, your seat bones gently into the floor as you shorten that middle upper back. Little bit of length at the back of the neck, and bring your head, your neck, your chest back up. Reach one leg out, reach the other, bring your arms all the way forwards, and slowly come all the way up. Release each of your seat bones by pulling them away underneath and behind you. And just flex your ankles, take a little stretch. See what you can hold, calves, ankles, whatever feels good to you. Breathe into the back and the base of your lungs. And exhale. And slowly restack the low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. And that is us for today. Thank you so much.